What's going on, guys? This is Diamond Hands Dave. Day 2 of making a video. Had some extra time, so I figured why not make another video and try to keep it consistent. Can't not make any guarantees, but had some extra time, so why not? So trading today went very well, actually, and it's because, to no surprise, I followed my system. I trade only failed breakdowns today. I took a failed breakdown on 65.86, which was basically the September contract. Now we've actually rolled over into the December contract. So I trade the micro ES S&P 500, which is MES. So the old contract was MESU September. The new contract is now MESZ December. So these numbers that I'm spitting out are for the September contract, which is rolling over into December this week. And starting right now, actually, as of 3 p.m. today, Pacific time, we've rolled over to the December contract. So if I'm throwing out any price levels from today's trading date, it is September contract numbers. December will be when I start trading tomorrow. So yeah, I took a couple failed breakdowns today. They worked out really well, and obviously to no surprise, because it's part of my plan, part of my system. I took it. I managed the trades appropriately, and it was good. It's interesting that it's just funny how simple trading can really be when you get out of your own way. Meaning, when you stop over-analyzing things and you stop trying to create a narrative in your own head about what the market may do, and start creating narratives about what's going to happen if you take a trade. Really, yeah, all it is just follow your system, plain and simple. Wait on the signal, wait for your edge to appear, take it, and be done. So yeah, so today was good, and it was good not only because I followed my system, but I didn't overtrade and I didn't oversize, which is great. It's also because I didn't have the luxury to oversize, because my margins are not as good now as they were a couple weeks ago. So again, like I mentioned in my last video, I'm having to start from, not scratch, but I'm having to start from a further ways back from where I was. And that's okay. That's totally okay. And as traders, we should expect these to happen once in a while. There are going to be plenty of days where you're taking 3-4 steps forward, and then you're taking 10-12 steps back, or I guess to make it simpler, just 1 step forward, 2 steps back type thing, or 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, whatever you can relate to. So yeah, so that was today, and it's just funny how things were really smooth and and boring. So I do want to touch upon this, because I think a lot of people don't understand what real trading is like. This may come as a shocker to a lot of people, but real trading is boring. Let me repeat that. Real trading is boring. What do I mean? If you have an edge, your setup, you wait for that setup, and you take it, and you manage it appropriately, and you're done for the day. You're now green. You've made profit, but then that's it. You're not going back in, at least as long as your rules dictate you to not, or whatever your rules are. But you essentially have a set of rules that dictate to you when you get in and when you get out. And once you've achieved your goal for the day, there's nothing else to do. And that's the reality of consistently profitable trading. It's going to be boring, because a lot of times I can tell you that there have been a lot of days where I've taken a trade and I've done what I wanted to do for the day, and I move on to other things. Or I take a second trade, and it also works out because it's still part of my plan, and it works out, and that's it. You're done. There's no real excitement. I'm sorry to say, it is what it is, right? Trading is not meant to be like this exhilarating thing, it's exhilarating if you're a gambler, because then you really don't know what you're doing, and you're literally just you're basically preying on luck at that point. You're hoping that it goes your way. And that's why you can get the adrenaline rush, because there's the unknown to it, you know, like it gives you like this hit, because like it's exciting because you don't know what's going to happen, and yada yada. And of course, especially if you're, you know, gambling with size, then that really will get your adrenaline pumping. But consistently profitable trading is actually the complete opposite. It's very boring, because you're going in already knowing what you're willing to risk. You're going in knowing how big of size you're going to put on. You know kind of when you're going to engage with the market and when you're not, you know. And once you've engaged with the market, you've taken your trade and you're done, then that's it. There's nothing else to do. You can continue watching the market and just, you know, for an academic sense, seeing what the market's doing, just to get a study on market structure. But that's it. And if your setup doesn't appear for the day, then you don't engage with the market. You're just watching it. So real trading is not exciting. It can be boring. Although even for those that truly enjoy trading like myself, I do find it exciting in an academic sense. Like, you know, like being able to take a trade and seeing the market go my direction and seeing things kind of play out. It's still interesting to see, like, you know, the market go up and, you know, seeking liquidity, and then it just comes back down, then it goes back up, or trade sideways, or how volatility goes from like high to low. Like all of a sudden you have high volatility and then it goes down to low volatility. So for me, that stuff is a little intriguing, because that's just like market structure and how the market is as a whole. So I find that stuff intriguing. It's more of like a study, you know, like you're learning how the market actually functions, and that can be interesting, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's exciting, you know. And I think a lot of people are looking for excitement. And if you're looking for excitement, and my mentor says this, if you're looking for excitement, don't trade. The market is not a place for you to seek excitement or a thrill. If you're seeking a thrill, if you're seeking adrenaline, don't go into the market. The market is not for you, because I can guarantee you, if you're just seeking a thrill, you will 100% you will lose your money. Okay? So don't gamble in the market. Don't try to seek thrills in the market. The market will take everything you have if you're seeking a thrill. And I can guarantee it, because I've heard and seen time and time again, and I have experienced it myself, of how the market punishes the thrill seekers, okay? And that's why it's so important when you hear people on the internet and you see people on YouTube touting, have a trading plan, have a set amount that you're willing to make and lose, have a set amount in your head of what you're willing to lose on the day, have, you know, a structure to your trading, like what big of size are you going to go in at, where you're going to get out. Like there's a huge emphasis about structuring your trades and standardizing your trades, because that is what guarantees consistency and success in the market. That's it. Like structure is what guarantees long-term success in the market, okay? And discipline, of course. Structure and discipline both guarantee long-term success in the stock market, in the market in general. If you don't have that, if you don't have any structure to your trade, if you are just going in for the sake of going in because you want that thrill, because you just want to see if you can make some big money at a whim, you know, at a moment's pace, then you're going to lose everything, including the shirt on your back, because you have no structure. If you're going into the market not knowing what size you're going to go in, when you're going to go in, when you're going to get out, what you're looking for, what you're not, all these things, if you don't know any of that stuff, you will definitely, it's like jumping into a tornado. Like you're going to get taken, you're going to get spun around, you're going to be taken for a ride, and it's going to just spit you right back out. So if you're seeking a thrill, go to an amusement park, go ride a roller coaster, you know, go karting, You know, that's what I would say. If you're seeking a thrill, do one of those things. You know, don't go to the market and gamble away your life savings. Don't YOLO. You know, Wall Street Bets is fun, entertainment purposes from in my eyes, but in my opinion, I don't think anybody, which is ironic because I call myself Diamond Hands, but in my opinion, I don't think anybody should be YOLOing their life savings on Tesla calls, puts, whatever, you know, because there's a huge chance that you're going to lose it all, you know. That's why it's risky for a reason, and it provides a thrill for a reason, because you literally their slogan is either millionaire or homeless, you know. That's the slogan. But you know, and a lot of people, especially during these days, because things are super expensive, inflation's out of control, you know, people are getting laid off, things just cost more, wages are not keeping up to the cost of living. It is totally understandable for why people have turned to Wall Street Bets, for why people have turned to these like gambling things in order to try and make a buck. It's not even guaranteed, you know. They're doing all these things to try and make a quick buck because they need to pay rent, because they need to pay their car payment, because they need to put groceries on the table or food on the table and buy groceries. So it's real. Like, the struggle is real, and it's happening to a lot of people on Main Street. And I am not surprised that people are going to Wall Street Bets and trying this stuff, or sports betting, or going to the casino, or whatever the case is. People are hurting right now, and it's clearly evident. You know, does it make it right? No, I don't. My opinion doesn't make it right, because again, a lot of these people are going to lose their money. You know, it's really sad. And that's honestly, and I hate to say this too, that's also why a lot of people get into trading. You know, it's like the big elephant in the room, but you have to address it. A lot of people turn to trading because they want to make money. Okay? I think let's put all the niceties aside. That's the reality of it. You know, everybody who's in trading is in it to make money. Yes, you may like learning about the market, like me. Like, I enjoy learning about the market, and I enjoy, you know, like structure and all that. That's fine. All that stuff is great. But ultimately, everybody initially comes to the market because they need money. They want to make money. And that's not bad. That's not a bad thing to want to make money. It's about how you go about it is the difference in some people. So I would say, I don't want to call myself a seasoned trader. I wouldn't consider myself a seasoned trader. I have been trading for a little bit, almost 3 years. Again, that's nothing compared to what some other people have been trading. So by no means am I calling myself a seasoned or experienced trader. I'm not. But I am taking the approach of a more slow and consistent type trading, so I can build wealth in the long run. And that's my goal, is to build wealth in the long term, ironically through short-term gains. That's just, you know, I like engaging with the market, so that's just me. But there are other people that have come to trading because they're expecting like this moonshot trade to transform their lives overnight, and that is not the way to do it. You know, like, you cannot come to the market and expect to buy an option or to buy a futures contract or YOLO, you know, 50 contracts and, you know, on a rally, or FOMO and 50 contracts on a rally, and hope that it's gonna, you know, pay you out thousands of dollars. That is a real easy way to blow your account and to get margin called and a host of all other things, and to get tilted, and then to put more money in your account, and etc., etc. You know, people need to be aware of these risks. You know, people need to be aware of why they're getting into the market in the first place. You know, a lot of people say they're getting into it for fun, and yeah, it is fun. And again, that goes to where like the whole thrill seeking thing comes from. A lot of people are thrill seekers. I would say even I can be a thrill seeker from time to time, but you have to understand, if you're going into the market to seek thrills, which we already talked about, but if you're also coming into the market to make big money quickly, just don't. I'm begging you. I'm just take this as a warning. Just do not. Now, if you want to get into the market because you're genuinely intrigued and you do want to make money, but you want to be conservative in how you make money, then that's totally reasonable. If you want to come in and try your hand, or you should learn first. Number one, you should learn how the market works, what you're going to trade, how you're going to trade it, all that stuff, etc., and try to build for yourself a nice stake. Try to build a nice small portfolio and like just compound the gains. That's how I would do it, and that's currently what I am doing. Compound your gains day by day. Don't try to hit a home run every single day. Don't try to get in 50 contracts every single trade. That is a surefire way to extinguish yourself. Okay, and I'm being honest. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that's the reality, because that's my experience. That's my experience. That's the experience that many other people have had. We're not just saying this stuff just to say this stuff. This is how it is. This is how trading is. Initially, especially if you're new and you come into trading and you have, these, money sunglasses on because you think you're gonna, if you're seeing green, you're gonna get humbled real quick. And God bless if you make money your first time. That's actually the worst thing that could happen to you, because then you really think you know what you're doing. You're gonna end up putting all your money into the market and you're just gonna lose it all. So please don't do that. Just learn, trade a paper account, trade on demo, learn from other people, learn from other people's mistakes. Don't go on Wall Street Bets. And if you are, just do it for entertainment purposes. The guys on Wall Street Bets, they're willing to take that risk. So, if you're willing to take that risk, that's on you. Everybody has their own conviction, and everybody has the right to do whatever they want with their own money. I am just someone that's been through it, and I'm hoping to talk, and really I'm just venting. I'm not even trying to talk anybody into anything or out of anything. I'm just telling you how my day was, how my trading day was. I had a good day today because I followed my rules, I followed my plan, and thank God it ended well. But a lot of people didn't have a good day today. Some people YOLO'd their whole accounts or YOLO'd their life savings and they got burned. So if I can prevent someone from doing that, then I guess I've done my job. But anyways, this is just another rant from yours truly, Diamond Hands Dave. Anyways, I'm going to call it a night. Hope you guys have a good day. Have a good week. It's rollover week, so don't be too aggressive. Market will definitely give us some moves, but, just follow your plan, trade sensibly, and I'll see you again, traders. Peace.